Jesus, dude. That was the most ignorant thing I've ever seen in my life. So let me first say, that is not the most ignorant thing I've ever seen in my life. Secondly, if you notice, there's a guy on a bicycle on the left side. And if you also notice, when I'm riding, that I'm riding on the outside of the car. So I'm either going to be riding on this side, on the right side, or I'm going to be riding on the left side. The most important thing about riding a bicycle or motorcycle is you want to stay out on the sides of the cars, because when you're going through an intersection, lights, stop signs, whatever, if there's some kind of vehicle can obstruct the view, you want to be able to yourself be able to see what's coming, and you want other people and other vehicles to see you as most as you can. Another thing I want to say is the reason why I did what I did instead of just coming to a full stop was the fact that if I would have came to a full stop, I would have been right behind him, meaning like maybe a half car length away. He was already through the intersection, so he committed to that turn, and look what he did. He stopped. He was on the crosswalk, and he was committing the turn and then stopped. So my theory is, instead of hitting the brakes, making the tires lock up, I'm only going 25, 26 miles an hour, which that's the speed limit. I would have made it through the yellow light because it just turned yellow. And that's why I swerved around. You'll notice if you watch the video that I thought about hitting the horn after I got through that intersection. But even in that quick split second, I was like, I got out of danger. I did what I needed to do. There's no reason to look back, flick him off, get all mad about it. I'm more happy to show you guys that if you watch like Dan the Fireman, he gives out great advice. Or if you just go to like Ohio's got the training for motorcycle course classes. If you do these courses, they'll teach you a lot of these techniques that I've picked up through the years. And the best one is to stay on the outside, like I said. Always watch your surroundings. That's the best thing, because no matter how big your motorcycle is, no matter how powerful your bicycle is, it just doesn't matter. You have to assume they're not seeing you. So that's my advice. I have no hate to this person in this vehicle. He committed to the turn, and then at split second decided to stop in a crosswalk. Basically, I would argue that he's basically in the intersection. You know, he's in the path of other cars coming. And so the next logical thing is he's going to back his vehicle up once he's done stopping, because he's going to see this guy on the bicycle, probably going to back up. Where am I going to go? So I did a quick assessment. There was no cars coming the other way, so I did a quick swerve, got through the light, and made it home safely. And them are the kind of things that you have to look out for when you're driving a car, but more importantly when you ride a motorcycle or even an e-bike. And like I said before, not the most ignorant thing I've ever seen. I've seen it a couple times, and that's the move you do, because yeah, I could have locked the brakes up and I could have lost control, or I could have slammed right into the guy's SUV, and guess whose fault that would have been. So let's just be careful out there. Not need most people be like, duh, but I just want to show new riders. Was it scary? Actually, no, not really. I've seen it before. You just gotta stay calm and go through the assessment real quick. Decide if you got an escape route, like Dan the fireman says. I picked the escape route, and that's all I gotta say about that. I wouldn't have lost control, but I do fear that he would have backed up quicker than I could have backed up, and that's why I did the swerve. Yeah, that's why I did the swerve. I assessed it. I knew I could make it through the yellow light, and he stopped just suddenly. But that's why I did what I did, because that car just passed. I could see I had an open view, so I went for it. And that's what you got to do, because he just stopped, and I was like, well, either I stop, and then he's gonna put it in reverse, or I go around him real quick, and that's the path to choose. The light's yellow, as you can see, and that's what I did. Now, if there was another car coming, yeah, the other option is control braking, which I was starting to do. If you listen to the clip in the beginning, you'll hear the click. That's me putting on the brakes to slow down because I could see he was turning, but then he just stopped, and that's when I released the brakes, because I wasn't on a full brake. I was like on a little brake to just slow down a little bit, and I was slowing down, and then he just stopped, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna go through this, because the best option is just to go through the light. It's yellow, no cars. I could see the no cars returning or anything. I had a pretty good view, and that's why I did that.